Sergio Pettis versus Rob Font at bantamweight coming up this weekend as the tri main event, the third fight on the main event down from the top. Big spot. Now, I've got to say this one's plain and simple for me, but I'm going to break it down anyway. I'm going to go through the backgrounds of the fighters. Sergio Pettis, of course, if you don't know, he's a flyweight in the UFC. Anthony Pettis' baby brother. He's not a baby, but just because of how tiny he is, people say baby brother. Not the biggest 125er to be moving up to 135. I think 125 pounds is the right weight class for Sergio Pettis. Perfect weight class for Sergio Pettis. And he's the number 2 ranked UFC flyweight. He beat Joseph Benavidez, but then lost to Javier Formiga in a dominant decision where Javier Formiga basically just fucking grabbed hold of him and got on his back for like 3 rounds like a backpack. And Sergio Pettis lost by decision. Real boring fight. And I think Rob Font in the fair bantamweight division, he's ranked number 11. Recently coming off a loss to Rafael Assunção. He did beat Thomas Almeida before that on the Stipe Miocic versus DC card. I think it was the Boston card. It might not have been Stipe Miocic versus. It might have been Stipe versus Ngannou and DC versus Ozdemir, if my memory's serving me correct. Rob Font's dangerous striker. Dangerous striker. He's got power in his hands. He's got power to finish the fight. He's game as they come. He comes forward. He's aggressive. He's a good grappler as well. Even though Rafael Assunção in his last fight kind of showed him what the top of the division looks like and why he isn't at the top of the division yet. But, you know, Rob Font's a young guy. He could come back in his career, and so is Sergio Pettis. Now, how do I think this fight's going to go? I think Sergio Pettis is going to get absolutely knocked out in the first round or ran through. I think when flyweights move up to bantamweight, like, there's a level of risk to taking shots that they just aren't used to at flyweight, honestly. Like, flyweight's the cut-off point where one-shot knockout power sort of doesn't exist anymore. Now, of course, there are some flyweights that have knocked out people in one punch. Demetrius Johnson to Joseph Benavidez sticks out. Henry Cejudo to Wilson Hayes sticks out. But what I'm saying is there's not as much risk. Bantamweight, there's a lot of risk. And then you start getting the guys that actually hit hard with some power. Sergio Pettis, not known at all for his power. He's a very tap-tap striker, point sort. I don't know how to describe his style. Maybe taekwondo, karate sort of mix. Boxing, he's very good at boxing. He knocked down Joseph Benavidez in their first fight, but he hasn't really ever displayed good power. Like, never. Rob Font has displayed good power. He's displayed ferocious attacks, and he's also quite a big guy. I want to see how these two square up on the weigh-ins, because I think Sergio Pettis is just going to get absolutely ran through. But I think it's a smart decision by Sergio Pettis to ensure his place in the UFC. Move up to bantamweight. You don't know what's going to happen with the flyweight division. Apparently, they're going to get rid of it. Move up to bantamweight. Get a fight there so that you're ranked at bantamweight as well as being ranked at flyweight. It doesn't affect your ranking at flyweight. Get a fight. Win or lose. If you win, you're a top 10 bantamweight, and you're probably going to get ranked around the number 5 position. If you lose, you're number 11 ranked bantamweight. You don't get cut by the UFC when they completely demolish the flyweight division. If they do. Very smart of him. I don't think the UFC would have got rid of Sergio Pettis anyway because he's quite marketable. He's a cute little fucking 4 foot tall guy, you know. Some girls like that apparently. Yeah, I think Sergio Pettis just gets absolutely ran through. I think it's a little bit of touchy-feely in the first round, and then Rob Font just shows him this is what risk in a division feels like. Have a fucking right hand. Boom! Smack straight down the pipe. Sergio Pettis gets caught. Sergio Pettis has never been knocked out, as far as I'm aware. Never been TKO'd, as far as I'm aware. But I think that flyweights, especially small flyweights like Sergio Pettis, who doesn't even display power at flyweight. I mean, he's not like he's Tim Elliott, you know? Or Henry Cejudo, who are quite big flyweights, and they have shown potential to move up in weight. But I think that Sergio Pettis is just going to get ran through. I mean, Tim Elliott's a big guy. He could fight a bantamweight very easily. Very easily, Tim Elliott could fight a bantamweight. And I just think that the size advantage is going to be too much. And I think that the size that Sergio Pettis is going to be putting on might not be the best size. Like, it's not like he's a tall, lanky, skinny guy and he's just going to fill out a bit. He's already quite fill out. He's already quite lean, quite shredded. So he's just going to get a bit more of a wider guy. And when you're a smaller guy and you want to be wide and gain weight, you want to kind of be a wrestler. It doesn't really work too well if you're a striker and the guy you're facing is taller than you with a longer reach, you know? I think Rob Font just completely smashes him. Rob Font's talented. Sergio Pettis is a flyweight that doesn't. I will hold my hands up. I'm a big fan. Like, I'm holding my hands up while I'm saying this. I'm a big fan of Sergio Pettis. He's a good guy. He's beat some top ranked guys at flyweight. Very impressive. My hands are coming back down. Rob Font's going to absolutely smash him. I don't rate flyweights at all. I don't think there's any risk in the division. Say what you want about the flyweights. I think they're skilled. They're very skilled against each other. But when it comes to moving up in division, you've got to be a specific type of flyweight. You know? I mean, you saw what happened in the Demetrius Johnson versus Dominick Cruz fight. Two of the best at both decisions. Demetrius Johnson moves up. Dominick Cruz absolutely handles him. Demetrius Johnson has his bursts, has his flurries. Dominick Cruz just completely out-wrestles him. Slams him to the mat. Suplex City. There's just a level at risk at 135 pounds that there isn't at flyweight. There's risk at flyweight, but it's just not the same. And I think bantamweight is a real top thick division at the moment, where it's murderer's row from basically 3 onwards down to 10, and then you've got the top 3 guys basically competing with each other. But yeah, I think Sergio Pettis gets annihilated. If he wins, I'll accept it. Good fight, good performance, but I think Rob Font's just going to fucking smash him and completely decimate him anally. That's just the way I feel. Yeah. See you later, guys. Oh yeah, like and subscribe, that's the one. Fucking hell. How did I forget that? Like and subscribe, guys, definitely. Really does help out. Like, every time I see a subscriber, it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy, it's not even funny. I'll see you later, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.